future roles I play in you. But I'm here representing the Q Co-work. We are a mom-owned, black-owned, mom-owned co-working space. So we have this event space where we host great events like this one tonight, which is a networking event, but we also have co-working spaces that can be used, office suites. We also do mailbox memberships. So if you are looking for those things for your upcoming or existing business, definitely look into us. We agree. We have a great community as well. And tonight, this is the Growth Beyond Me, sponsored by So it's a great panel tonight, and I can't wait to listen in. If you would like some food and drinks, feel free to get what you like.
Hi everybody. I'm Jason Sims. I'm one of the co-founders along with Dr. Tina Relikis, who is the co-founder of the Q. We co-founded NAME, the National Association of Mom Entrepreneurs. So we help moms start businesses nationwide now. So we started in Baltimore. To date, we've helped start about 450 mom-owned businesses. And if you didn't know, Maryland has the highest startup rate of minority small businesses in the country. Isn't that awesome? And so what we do, in case you're unfamiliar with the organization, we run an 8-week program, which we've shifted to weekends now, but we help you from the idea of your business all the way to launch. So in between there, we help you find resources. We bring in attorneys, accountants. If you need real estate help, we help you with that also. And so we currently have signups going through the next several weeks, all the way through December, I believe, of new cohorts starting if you're interested. But that's my little intro. I'll be here for a little while. Hopefully I get to meet some of you. I'm going to turn it over to Brandon Johnson, Jason.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, we got one.
Before Brandon goes, I just want to say hi. I'm really like behind the scenes. My name is Sharika. Thank y'all so much for coming out. I'm like one of the curators of these events. Please stay connected with us. We have a lot of great resources. If you're on our email list, stay up to date with all the events we have going on because, NAME is dope. We're here to help. I'm sure a lot of moms are here. We have great events. And yeah, we would love to have you on board. And thank you so much for the beautiful panel. Let's get them, don't they look so lovely? Let's give them a round of applause. And let them know they don't have to be, anxious or anything. We all here and want to have a nice conversation, and mental health is the priority. So that's what we're going to get started in conversation today. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Brent.
No problem. Thank y'all. How y'all doing?
Good.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Everybody good? Listen, we're going to talk about mental health, so if you're not good, you can say you're not good. If there's any space, you can do that at. Tonight's the space. But thank you all so much for being here, for being a part of this conversation. I'm Brandon Johnson. I am the branch chief of the Suicide Prevention Branch at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. I've been in that space. I've been in the suicide prevention space for about 10 years. I've been working in mental health. I also co-lead an initiative called the Black Youth Suicide Prevention Initiative that we have at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. I co-lead that as well. But I am so excited, I'm honored, I'm elated for us to be having this conversation, especially in our community. To be able to have a conversation where we can talk around mental health, talk to individuals that are in this space, that are working in this space, that are dedicated to these spaces, and to really uplift mental health for women, right? And Black women's mental health. This is a conversation that, we need more of. And so I'm excited. I think for every sponsor and put this together, the Cube and all the work that they do, this is going to be a cool conversation. First and foremost, everybody take a deep breath in, let it out. Everybody do it again. Let it out. We family tonight. we all family tonight. This is a conversation, but this is a laid-back conversation. This is not one that's stuffy. We're going to make sure that leave time at the end for you all to ask any questions that you have of the panelists. But please feel open and comfortable enough as you can. can we all commit to whatever is said in this room around mental health stays in this room in terms of anyone's personal stories, right? If you get some good information, run tell everybody. You can post it right now, you can get on Facebook, we're not gonna be offended, you pull your phone out, write it down, do all of that, but anything personal that's shared, if we can keep that in this room, so when we walk out, it stays here, so people feel comfortable sharing anything that they want to about themselves. Can we all commit to that?
Yes.
Or maybe make you sign a waivers, but, and I didn't tell you this ahead of time, so as long as y'all good with that, then we're good. And so, I have the privilege of talking with 4 dynamic women in mental health tonight. It's an honor to be up here with you. How are y'all doing? Good. Everybody good? Everybody comfortable? Y'all look great. Listen, nothing else. And so, what I want to do is that, again, since we're all family, we got to get to know one another. And so, can we start, and we'll start at the end down this way. Listen, I'll move back and forth with, with who goes first, but if you could just introduce yourself to everyone tonight and tell us anything you want about yourself. Again, you're amongst families, so whatever you're comfortable sharing, we would love to hear from you, get a chance to meet you.
Okay, I am Sierra Homewood. I am the CEO of a mental health clinic in Baltimore City called Beyond Health. I started about 3 years ago. In the 3 years, I have added on, well, we have 3 different programs now: substance abuse, mental health, and PRP services. I have a 4-year-old daughter that I love so much. It's really who I am. And yeah, that's it. So we'll talk more about, I guess, other questions to elaborate on my business, but yes, I am Beyond Health.
Awesome. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Smith. I am the Executive Director of the Mental Health Emergency Fund Incorporated. So I'm actually not a licensed clinician, I'm just a mental health advocate. And I'm really passionate about giving people access to resources. So my organization provides financial assistance to people who need that for therapy. I'm also the Mental Health Fellow at Open Society Institute Baltimore, if anyone's familiar with that organization. And yeah, really happy to be here.
Awesome.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tanisha Buse. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I am also the founder and CEO of the Buse Foundation. The Buse Foundation is a mental health practice that services girls and women starting at the age of 9. We are a virtual only practice. I am a mom to an amazing 1-year-old boy, and that's pretty much it. I'm a real advocate for mental health.
Yes. So my name is LaToya Stewart. I am a licensed clinical social worker as well. I am the founder and lead clinician of This Goes Out to You, LLC. We provide clinical supports to anyone over the age of 17, individuals, couples, families, and we also hold monthly mindfulness groups. We offer in-person and telehealth opportunities. I just got to put my hands on y'all sometimes. And so it's helpful with our journey. So yes, thank you. Oh, our niche. So yes, our niche is helping women of color working towards being their highest self. So yes, we provide supports and resources and services to all people. But we are a safe space for women of color to let you know that we can do this together. We can do this together.
I love that. Everybody do that. We got a commercial break.
We forgot to mention we will be doing a pitch competition at the end of the panel. So if you're interested in pitching to win money for your business, we're only accepting 5. Come see me in the back.
Listen, y'all. Listen, if I wasn't up here, I'd be back there. But it's so great to hear about all the things that you all are doing, and then taking that, and getting into this field, getting into the mental health space. All of your organizations that we'll get into in a minute do different things, and have different pieces to them. So, what was that moment? What was that thing? What got you wanting to be into mental health? What was that? Was it a moment? Was it something you saw? Was it a personal experience? What was the thing that really said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to get into. I'll start with LaToya. I can start with LaToya.
Yes,
I'll talk about her first. I'm a snake.
Okay, good. So, I'm a servant. So, and I think it's a progressive understanding of how you are a servant, you serve yourself as well as the community, and how you want to stand up and show up for those around you. But I'm also a clinician, right? And I don't think you know you're a clinician until you get out and do some work. And you can make some connections, and you help some people move through some different pieces. But ultimately, I think social work, I found out that I was a clinician and I was a social worker because just really off of what we stand for, our ethics, and how we really believe that all people are innately good, you know, and that we really want to support people with moving forward. And just knowing that in my own personal self, that you just have to have a heart for this level of work. And so how did I know? It was a progressive knowing. But as I moved through different pieces of social work practice, clinical, medical, psychiatry, school-based, child welfare, marketing, and advocacy, in mental health, and clinician, and being a therapist, I knew that this was a good fit for me. So I needed to do what worked for me so I could be a servant at work.
I love that. That phrase, progressive knowing, like I love that. But like over time, you're exposed, like that's when you got that feeling.
Yeah. This goes out to you.
I love that.
So for me, it took a minute to get here. So my bachelor's degree is in political science because my first dream was to become a lawyer. I was just like, I'm going to law school. I even took the LSAT, applied for law school and everything. And at the time I was working for a judge because again, this was in alignment with becoming a lawyer. And so the judge that I worked for was very good at connecting me to people. And so she connected me with someone who had their Juris Doctorate and also their Master's of Social Work degree. And so as I was speaking to the woman just regarding my passion, telling her how I wanted to assist juvenile delinquents and how I wanted to help them, she was just like, yeah, Tanisha, that's not a lawyer. I was like, really? Well, what is it? And so she said a social worker. And I said, oh no, I don't want to take away kids. That's not what I want to do. And that's when she really explained to me the broadness of what the social work practice entails. And so once I did further research beyond what I knew of social work, just of CPS, I told myself, okay, this is where I need to go. So I did go into the social work program, received my master's degree. And even still at that time, I was still unclear as to where I wanted to go. It wasn't until I worked in an outpatient mental health clinic where I worked with a variety of clients, both men and women, but I noticed that I resonated more with my women clients. I felt during the session, like I just felt like I was very empowering during those sessions. And so I said at this time, this is my niche. And then also when I looked at my own self and took a moment and looked at the things that I was going through in my life and how I would just filter things and just keep going along with life and acting as if nothing was bothering me, even as a therapist, I had to take a moment to say, wow, you know, I am human. Like, just because I'm a therapist does not mean that I'm exempt from life happenings. And so I began to open up and talk a little more about it. Then I noticed that people around me were kind of doing the same thing. Like, we were just kind of moseying, going through life, but we were dealing with some stuff. And so I said, you know what, this is it. I want to hold space for women, for allowing us to be vulnerable, to be okay with being vulnerable, and being able to express ourselves and accept our humanity. So that's how I found out that the social work practice, well, being a therapist, and especially for women, was the focus for me.
I love that. And I love that humanity piece of it, right? Like, sometimes we're so robotic that we don't get a chance to just be human. And you wanted to give that to other people, so that's awesome.
So for me, I would say I probably have had high functioning anxiety my whole entire life. And it wasn't until getting like my first big girl job out of college that I kind of really was dealing with like imposter syndrome, superwoman syndrome, all those things, to the point where like a couple years into it, I got burned out, and I knew that my mental health was just like in a really bad place. And I had seen previous jobs where like my mental health was starting to decline, and I had like some instances of like trauma and things of that nature, but I knew that I needed to save money just in case I would have like a time away from work if I needed to just chill, right? And so I ended up saving like $13,000 before I quit my one job, and ended up taking a mental health sabbatical from work, moving back here to Baltimore. And I thought that, being out of work would just allow me to just, have the most peaceful life, just, okay, no work, like, no stress. But when you're alone with your thoughts, I think a lot of people experience that in the pandemic. When you're alone with your thoughts, like, it just escalated. And my panic, like, went through the roof. And I really had to, like, go into therapy. I took medication for the first time, still on medication. Like, just so many different things happened to me. But I ended up being out of work for, like, over a year. And my emergency fund, like, funded me through that. And so I realized that I wanted to, once I was back on my feet and able to kind of give back to people, I wanted to start my organization, the Mental Health Emergency Fund, to first provide finances for people who were like me, who maybe didn't have emergency funds, but were going through mental health crises, but also to teach a financial literacy component. So I teach financial literacy as well, so that people can help build their finances, build their emergency funds, and not continually come to our fund for that, but also learn how to, teach, give a person fish, you feed them for a day, you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. So trying to teach Black communities about financial literacy and pairing that with mental health, because there are definitely overlaps around mental health and finances. So my story.
Absolutely. Thank you for being open enough to share your personal experiences in that way too. We definitely appreciate that.
Okay, so for me, I was listening to everybody. I have a great story. For me, I think I'm gonna piggyback on what Toya said. I believe that me being in this field is my assignment from God. I think that I've learned that over the past 10 years, I would say. 10 years ago, I opened up a assisted living, and I had a few clients that really, they're wonderful, but everybody feels as though, okay, when you go to assisted living, you're old, people forget about you, and they don't really come to talk to them anymore. So they go through mental health issues at an older age. So I can say, who is here to talk to me to? Who is here to help them? And like I said, I believe that this is my assignment from God, because all of my friends that know me, they can call me and tell me a problem, and I'm quick to say, okay, let's figure it out, let's solve it, what can we do next, no matter who it is. And I believe that now, fast forward past the assisted living business venture 3 years ago, when I decided to start Beyond Health, I got into this field because I knew a lot of people needed help, right? And why not open up an organization that people could come and ask me for help all the time? Little did I know it was going to be overwhelming, but I was like, okay, I can do this. This is my assignment from God. I know that this is my assignment from God, because every time I try to give up, He always brings something back to say, no, Sierra, you got to keep going. About 2.5 years ago, so if you want us to be family friends, and I'll get a little bit personal. But about 2.5 years ago, my significant other was murdered by one of his friends, and I believe that if somebody had a chance to talk to him, because he was going through something at the time, that all of this could have been avoided. But of course, Black men don't believe in therapy as much, nor do people feel like, if you see something going on with somebody, that you want to take them by the hand and say, come on, let's talk, or let's figure it out. And I believe that from that day forward, when I prayed to God, like, okay, what do I do now? It's just me and my daughter here. Beyond Health was just all over, all my dreams, all my prayers. And like I said, in the last 3 years, we have grown tremendously. And I believe that this is where I'm supposed to be in life. With a part of my business, the substance abuse side of the clinic, we specialize in the LGBTQ community. We only house clients that are in that community, because one day I got a phone call, and this trans woman said, they do not like me here, and I cannot focus on my recovery because they don't like me here. They keep putting me in a room with a man. I'm a female. And I said, okay. So I told her that she was welcome to come to my program. And what I realized is that she wasn't the only one that's always judged, and she could not focus on being her best self or getting through her recovery process because people made her feel some type of way. So that's like my big motive with Beyond Health, is that don't ever let nobody make you feel no type of way. Because when you feel your best self, your mental health will always kind of be there, unless you get the best therapist that you can talk to. But when you feel good and you know, you wake up every day and you shine, then, you know, it can be a better day. So that's why I believe that I'm in mental health, and I'm here to stay.
And that pain into purpose piece is, you know, it's definitely something I think many of us can resonate. It's for you to do it at that level. Thank you for your vulnerability, and thank you for the work that you're doing, and thank you for not running from your purpose. I appreciate that. So with that, this is putting it mildly, there are a ton of things that women face typically on a day-to-day basis. In particular, women of color, in particular Black women, there are so many different issues and facets that are things that impact just your existence, just for you to be able to walk down the street and feel safe, for you to be able to be your authentic self in the workplace, like just to exist, the responsibilities, internal, external. There are so many things that impact women. Like, can you all just share some of the things that you all see, you know, women kind of, you know, dealing with, you know, as it pertains to their mental health and wellness and on their healing journeys? And two, just so we can get some relatability, like for the folks there that may be able to see or hear something of themselves, things that you all see women do, and then we'll talk about some of the ways that you all in your programs like work and help to assist with that.
I'll first say just rejecting the belief of being a strong Black woman. I think that for years, and this just goes back to our ancestry and things like that, where the woman is the one that's handling so much, the kids, the household, and it's somewhat frowned upon to even talk about being tired or overwhelmed. It's kind of like, no, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you are supposed to do. That you're supposed to be taking care of the children, working, and doing a number of things. And I think that we have grown into that belief, and we are living up to that. We are living up to being a strong Black woman. And again, I don't think anything's wrong with it, but I think that when it's at the expense of us, when we are losing us, trying to obtain that prototype, that's when it becomes problematic. So I would just encourage just rejecting that belief of being a strong Black woman, because it just comes with too much pressure for you. So that's one of the ways I say just rejecting that belief.
That's a good one. And I like how you said, you know, at the expense of self.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this idea that you can't, you know, slow down or stop because this is what you have to do, and like rejecting that and embracing that. I love that.
Something my friends and I talk a lot about is social media comparison. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Like, you know, everyone posts their highlight reel. You don't really know you don't ever see anyone in the trenches. You don't really see anyone crying on the camera necessarily. And just the idea of, you know, even just people who blow up when they decide to post a reel or something like that. Like, I think that there's a lot of people who might even see their friends who, you know, we all went to school at this, like, I would say from kindergarten through college. We're all kind of going the same path. If you went to college, if you didn't, like, at least K through 12, we're kind of all going the same way. But then at a certain level, lives start changing, right? People get married, people have kids, people go to grad school, people, you know, start businesses, and then, like, that's when you start to feel behind. That's when you start to, like, compare yourself to other people. And I think that that's a huge thing that we as women kind of deal with, especially, like, if maybe you're not married, like maybe you're like 30s and you don't see any prospect, like all these things, biological clock. Like, I just think that there's a lot of things that we see that we think that we should be a certain place because of what we see, right? We feel like we're limited by what we see, but there's so much beyond that. And so if we can kind of be able to distance ourselves from those narratives, that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I think that's a great one, because social media put the comparison in your lap.
Yeah.
How many people, like, picking up your phone and checking socials is one of the first 3 things you do when you wake up? You can be honest. Again, I told you, me and my family, like, okay? And so immediately, like, that's one of the first things that you're doing before you can kind of even reset. Half the time, especially if you got kids, they'll pick up their phone before they even know they're awake. And it's there, right? But that brings the comparison home, right? It brings it home for us. And so I think that's a great point as well, for sure.
I'll jump in. I was actually, so many thoughts came in, so I don't know which way to go, so I'm gonna let others small out.
You are
Just allowing yourself to be your unique self. I think that a lot of times as women of color, we look at the models. You look at your grandmother, you look at your mother, you look at your aunt, you look at the women in your neighborhood, you look at the women that are on TV, and you try to find yourself in that. And a lot of times you may not see you, right? You might not see someone with a speech impediment. You might not see someone with anxiety, even though they got it. You might not see someone struggling with, laid out mood. You may not see someone that has the same skin struggles as you, hair struggles as you. And so that's why a lot of us find ourselves looking on YouTube, right? But the place where I found that I finally told myself it was okay to be myself was at, I shouldn't say a name, but when I worked at a school for disabilities, right? And I'm the social worker, I'm the community support, I'm the family support, I'm the therapist, helping students who some you can see their visible disability, and then seeing my students who you can't. Seeing their parents struggle, parents of color struggle with their student that you cannot see their disabilities, but they're struggling at home, right? And trying to give them the tools. And so it allowed me to look at myself and now teach, right? Because I said progressive understanding of self. It allowed me to say, okay, my heart racing a little fast, let me get some tools. That's okay, there's nothing wrong with me. This is me. I'm allowing myself to see myself clearly while actively working to release shame, blame, and judgment, or anything I picked up along the way, or anybody's voice that I've now changed into mine. Okay? It's okay if your cousin, you can see her disability, right? I'm gonna call it uniqueness, right? And it's okay if when you look in the mirror, you see yours, but no one else can. So I teach self and clients. It's okay to be unique. We are all actively working to release shame, blame, and judgment. It is gonna show up. I am actively working to see myself clearly because that's the only way I can say hello to my stuff. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to move through if I see it. And if I see it, sometimes it's too tough and I'm gonna put it down. If I see you, that's too much. I can't do this right now. Right, because if I don't see it, I can't be, and then you know what? Usually we're most critical of self, so someone else is gonna come say it to you, and you ready to cut them off, you ready to just knock them out. Right, and so then checking yourself, like, oh, okay, that part is mine. Them coming at me kind of crazy, that's them. But my response is mine, and it's because I can't do their voice and my voice.
Like preaching.
Okay, and so allowing myself to see myself clearly, my unique self, I am different, I am ever changing, I am progressive, and I can be what I want to be when I feel like being it, today, tomorrow.
You gonna wrap up? But I mean, there's so much there to unpack, especially that like seeing ourselves clearly piece, like, and how many of us do? Like that's what I was listening, thinking about when you said it. Like how many of us do? Because there's so many, like you said, so many other voices, so much other noise, and unpacking that. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like all women have superpowers, right? Like I feel like you can just do anything. Growing up, I just feel like I never seen my mom. She was always at work, but she always got everything done. I'm like, when did you have time to do this? I'm like, where was you at? Type of thing. But so I believe that because no matter what, we're gonna always show up and show our superpowers, right? But we also have to make sure that we show up for ourselves. And for me, I'm a true advocate for self-care. Like you have to add that into your everyday life. And women, sometimes we're running around with our crocs on, put our hand in the ponytail and just get to it, right? But we have to always remember to, no matter what, stop and take that time for yourself. Go get your hair done, you know, get your nails done, do anything that make you feel, you know, your unique self, like she said. So I believe that no matter what, just make sure you take that time out for yourself to get away from your children sometimes. And even like for myself, I vacation a lot because I always say, that shit gonna be there when I come back. And it is definitely there when I come back. But you gotta take a minute for yourself to regroup. In my substance abuse office, I have this sign that says, restart, what does it say, man? Restart, regroup, reset, but do not fold, right? So you always gotta remember to do that. Like, you're gonna always have to reset because even all day long, we're, as women, it's gonna be superheroes in my eyes. So you have to always remember to add that.
So self-care, for sure, and making sure that that's self-care, and the realization of like, it's gonna be there. You can walk away from it and be okay with it and enjoy yourself and come back to it. I love that. And so you all were dropping, as we were talking about some of the challenges, you all were dropping some tools also, some nuggets for folks. What are some other, because we want people to fill their toolbox, that's one of the things we talk about a lot, is that the rough times or things like that are gonna come, and some of them are more even on a daily sense that you have these things that you're dealing with. So what are some other, you know, tools, strategies, things that you all, either from your organization, from yourselves, that you all can say to the women here tonight for them to, as one of you said, like take charge of your mental health and your well-being? And Jessica, do you want to?
Oh, I can. Sorry. So for me, I personally have been practicing meditation for the past like 5 years or so. So I do guided meditations to scripture, do my own voice, like I do voice recordings on my phone every single day, multiple times a day, just as like pauses throughout the day to kind of just like regroup. That has been something that has been my lifeline. It really helped decrease my panic attacks. When you have a voice inside of your head that is so loud and so negative, you need something to come back at, to be affirming. And so there's nothing more powerful than the Word of God. And so I do that every single day, and I need it. So that has been my lifeline, and it doesn't cost anything, right? So, and I also do facilitate guided meditation sessions as well.
I love that. So we got guided meditation. That's beautiful.
Well, for me, I kind of knew this question was going to come about, right? So I can understand, what am I going to say when they ask me, do I have my own therapist? Which is, I believe in therapy all the way around. I feel that everybody in the whole world needs therapy, right? Just someone to talk to. But I have had a crazy trial with therapists, but I also believe that I have like a great, amazing group of friends, like Tanisha, Jerika, girlfriends is sitting right here. So I always can call them and talk to them, and they tell me everything unconditionally, I feel like, anyway. They love me unconditionally. So I believe, I'm trying to say this to say that therapy is, I think everybody should at least try it, right? A lot of my clients that are in my program have therapists, and when they come and tell me like, oh my God, this therapist saved my life. Like one of my clients is like 76 years old, and she says, yeah, how the heck I got me this lady all my life when I'm 76 years old? And I'm like, I don't know, but I feel like no matter what age, young, middle age, older, therapy is just like the best outlet. I feel like you just have to find the perfect therapist for yourself.
Absolutely, yeah, I love that. And finding a therapist can be a great way just to unload some of that stuff too, right? When you know, want to share those innermost thoughts and you don't always feel comfortable doing it, like a therapist is a great way to do it. And then like, you know, you talk about your support system. Like I was about to start singing Brandy Best Friend, but I think none of you all wanted to hear that. But like having that support system is also
and a positive support system.
Positive support.
As women, I feel like we know we get one little feeling in our chest and say, I don't know. We give people chances a lot, but once you feel that one little inkling, just know that that person is not. You only have positive support around you, and when you have positive support around you, then I think that you'll be okay. But you know, talking to your girlfriends. In the meantime, while you're trying to find a therapist.
Can I plug something?
Of course.
So on my website, I have a free resource called budget, how to save time and money while finding the quality care you need. So you can download it and you'll get on my email list, but I also have like a 10-minute talk that I did through the Black Speakers Network during Mental Health Awareness Month. So my website is mentalhealthemergencyfund.org, and it's on the front page. So just want to share that because everyone can say, you know, get a therapist, but it's like, well, how do I do that? You know, where do I look? How do I know it's a good fit for me? So I kind of walk you all through how to do that. So
Right here, you come right here.
yeah, before on the panel, but also.
Can you say your website real loud?
Yeah, sorry, www.mentalhealthemergencyfund.org.
Thank you.
So I'm coined the mindfulness gurus. I got tools. So I'm just gonna get one or two though. One easy one that I suggest to everyone, I do it myself, is hand over heart. It's a self-soothing strategy. You can do one hand over your heart, two hands over your heart, hand over heart, hand over belly, or just like a tight hug, right? So whichever feels good to you, you will immediately start to feel some self-soothing. I also encourage it so you can slow yourself down, so you can make a choice. Because sometimes in the moment things are going on, and your body is so, used to responding, and a lot of times we don't even think about the response, we're just in it, right? So it gives you an opportunity to check in with self. Oh, I'm going to show up as me today. If I'm showing, they're going to get me, or am I showing up as my highest self? Or can I just give myself some room? Maybe I need to go in the bathroom and take a deep breath, a mindful breath, right? Another one that I would suggest, we talked about this earlier, was just natural joy. We talked about self-care, but I'm so big on language. Self-care didn't work for me. It just, what does that mean? So, like, I need something that's innovative, that's going to be life-changing, that's going to, get me together, right? And so natural joy is what I teach my clients, because it's just, it's right there. Right, there's always something good going on, and it's just right there. It's in hands, it's in arms reach. If you embrace it with a pure heart, there's always something going on that's good. Right, life is gonna happen, stuff is gonna happen, and a lot of times we rest in that, and it's on our face, and we're carrying it in our bodies, and that's what we talk about when we talk to everybody else. We're not telling them about how everybody called got vandalized but mine. Gas in my car didn't have to stop. Oh, my daughter, she got on the bus. It came on time. Like, just the things that matter that will throw your life off. Yeah. And so really the idea of natural joy is building a toolbox, a list of things that works for you, that's specifically tailored to you, that when you are kind of in a labile, manic, low mood, just not feeling like yourself, you can go to this list that you've written down for yourself that's ever growing, like you're adding things, right? And you know that I don't have to think too much. If I do this one thing, I start to turn on this one TV show or this one movie, I immediately start to feel better. If I go for this walk, I immediately start to feel better. If I call this person, I immediately start to, if I eat this specific food, if it's me, I climb a tree, like touch a tree, climb a tree, this is your list. It does not have to be the things that you saw when you read a book or you read a newspaper article or anything. It's for you. This is yours, and things will come off and things will get put on. And so it also builds awareness and insight, because a lot of times you're not even paying attention to the things that make you feel good. You're paying attention to the things that don't. You can't get better off the things that don't. We can mark that so you can remember and you can know what to do with it. But these things are helpful to you and can be specific to you.
So I'm gonna say mine, but I
Okay,
need
go
to
on.
touch on mine. So I like journaling. I really encourage journaling, being able to write and sit and feel your emotions. What I tell my clients is that is a way of letting your brain know that you're processing what is going on, instead of, because we're kind of prone to just kind of keeping things in, we're holding it in, but journaling is that release. So I would definitely encourage that. Another big thing that I would also say is changing your your language, changing how you speak to yourself. So when clients start to say, I can't, no, it's not I can't, because you can. And so it's just telling clients, change your language, because once you believe you can't do something, you're going to lack putting in the effort to actually start to do it, because you're already believing that is something you can accomplish. So that is another thing, is just changing your language, because the way that you speak to yourself, you're likely going to believe it, and that's going to show up in your behavior.
Yeah, these are awesome. Give a hand. These are great. I do gratitude journaling, so it resonated like you two together, like the words there, which is just writing the good things that happen in the day. And then I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't push 988. 988 is the 24/7, 365 line. You can text it, you can call it, you can chat it on the website. It's always there. So if your support system is sleep and they're gonna cut you out for calling them at 3 a.m., if you reach out to 988, they're there, trained crisis counselor on the other end, and that resource connects you to somewhere local, so a local crisis center. So just wanted to plug that too.
Brandon, I think sometimes there are like misconceptions around like you have to be like suicidal to know
Yes.
it. Can you just like educate us a little bit more about?
Absolutely. You do not need to be in a crisis. You do not need to be suicidal to reach out to 988. If you just want somebody to talk to you, if you want to call on behalf of somebody else. If you want to be like, hey, my friend's going through this, I want to try to help them. Like, how can I do that? Or I got a kid that's struggling with this. But it could be about anything related to stress. It could be, I'm about to start a new job tomorrow, I don't know how to feel about it. All the things were like, today just kind of suck, and I just need a place to say it suck. And be able to do that for somebody who's ready to listen, it's a resource for that too, so you do not have to use it. That's a great point there as well. And so you all are talking from places of experience and expertise, and you all have taken all of this and you've created businesses and programs and things to be able to help other people. I would love it if each of you can talk through in as much detail as you want to share about your business, what you do, and what services you all provide.
Okay, so like I said earlier, Beyond Health, we are a full OMHC. I'm looking at my director, Victor, the big. A full OMHC is the outpatient mental health clinic. So we provide therapy, psychiatry, which includes medication management, substance abuse treatment, transportation, housing, PRP services for adults and children. Oh, and our substance abuse program also can treat children as young as 5 years old and up. A lot of the teenagers are smoking weed and things of that nature in high school now. So yes, that's Beyond Health. Like I said, my substance abuse side of my program, we specialize in the LGBTQ community. What else? We're located downtown Baltimore, across the street from Mercy Hospital. We are looking to expand soon to Atlanta, Georgia. I believe that's all about Beyond Health.
How large is your facility? Because you have inpatients?
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
How large is your facility? Because you have inpatients, right?
Yeah, you said do I have inpatient? No, it's an outpatient mental health center, yes. But my facility is about 4,500 square feet, yes. So our clients come there every day for substance abuse treatment. So they come there 6 days a week, Monday through Sunday.
Cool, we got one more, another commercial.
Just going to jump in. This is the time where I like to ask everybody to pull their phones out so that you can pull up all these young ladies and gentlemen information, social media, so they can follow, and then y'all can, tell them your needs.
So my Instagram is Beyond Health. I think it's Beyond Health PRP, but
Yes.
Beyond Health PRP is the Instagram name, and the link in the bio will take you to our website if anybody had any questions or they wanted to reach out for any of our services. There's a link on the bio that you can ask somebody to give you a call. You can send your email and we'll reach out to you.
You said beyondhealth.org?
Yes. Well, the website is www.beyondhealthprp.com.
Oh.
But that's the same name for the Instagram as well.
So beyondhealthprp.com.
.com or .org?
Yeah.
And I know everybody, when I say something about the LGBTQ side of the business, a lot of people have told me think that's all that I service, but that's just a small part of our whole, a big part of the program, but we service the whole community of Baltimore.
And thank you for all that you do, but that specific area of focus is so needed.
Yes.
So thank you for that and for doing that for the community as well. Okay, everybody got the website? We good? Okay. Jesse.
Mental health emergency fund. So basically, I apply for a lot of grants to get money to then give it away. So I really have a mission of reducing the financial barriers that people experience to getting therapy. So I open up applications for people to get a $500 stipend to go towards either therapy, medications, co-pays, things like that. And so I am also building out a full directory of Black and Brown therapists in the Baltimore area and working with them to give discounts to people who come through the mental health emergency fund. And then I'm also a youth mental health first aid instructor, so I haven't started yet, but I'll start to be doing trainings in the community for people who kind of really want to identify the signs and symptoms in the youth that they're working with, or even their children or mentees or whatever. It's a 8-hour course, and you can be certified for 3 years if you get certified. And so that's some of the things I do, but yeah, just fully. This is like my first week, like fully launching full time into my business, because I didn't have a part-time job, and now I have a new grant coming through, so I'm doing this full time.
Can you say the name of your business one more time?
The Mental Health Emergency Fund.
Mental health emergency fund?
Yes. And so yeah, my Instagram is Mental Health Emergency Fund.
Awesome. It's just so many services just in y'all team starting off. Like there's so many resources here. So definitely write down everything, take everything. If you miss something, we'll make sure you get it 100%.
All right, so I am Tanisha Buse again. I am the founder and CEO of the Buse Foundation. So yes, Buse is my last name, but it's also an acronym that represents building unity and sisterhood empowerment. So my website is www.thebuse, B-U-I-S-E, S as in Sam, B as in Edward, foundation.org. My social media handles are the Buse Foundation, so B-U-I-S-E, so the B-U-I-S-E Foundation on both Facebook and Instagram. So we are a mental health group practice, so it's myself and 3 other Black women therapists. We work with girls and women starting at the age of 9 all the way up until older years. We also do couples therapy. We have 2 clinicians that offer couples therapy. We also do family with mom and daughter. We host groups, we host free events, so please follow us. I have some cards that I can give out to you all as well. I am also, like I mentioned, I'm a clinical social worker. I'm also a board approved social worker, board approved supervisor, I'm sorry. So I'm able to supervise licensed master social workers. And that's about it.
You doing something with Morgan?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Allie, you was perfect.
Yes. So we just launched today. We started today a 4-week free group for Morgan State University students. After what transpired the early part of the month, we are offering a free service, not only just to discuss that, but also to help students to prioritize mental health, and to get the conversation started in regards to that.
That's awesome. As a fellow Morgan alum, thank you for your work there. And 2, I love that you all are so targeted, in what you're doing. We know we can do group stuff. There's a lot of general mental health stuff, but to say this is for Black women and daughters, that doesn't exist everywhere. For LGBTQ service, that doesn't exist everywhere. So thank you all for your, finding solutions out in the community.
Absolutely. Again, I'm Latoya Stewart. My business name is This Goes Out to You, LLC. We are a private practice. I actually just went full-time launch expansion July. So, we in the thick of things right now. We are out, we are networking, and we are doing speaking engagements as well. For our direct services and supports, we target individuals, couples, families, and we have a mindfulness group that we host monthly. You will leave feeling better with tools to help you along the way. This is not only open to our current client base, but it is open to the community. We currently take Medicaid, we take Aetna, we take Cigna, Johns Hopkins, EHP, United Healthcare. Look, we take almost all of the major except Blue Cross Blue Shield. Just don't but we do have a nominal fee for our group sessions that I would strongly encourage you to check out. But yes, I'm the mindfulness guru. So I just want to make sure you leave feeling better. And our niche is targeting women of color, right? Women of color specifically. There's so many areas and atmospheres where we have to fit in. We got to make sure you didn't got hair range, the shoes, And I know how that feels, right? And especially in the work environment. And so we just want you to know that we have a safe space for you to heal with a non-judgmental, subjective party that will also challenge you, right? Push you a little bit, be an active listener, and really support you with building some tools to help you ground and be your best self.
Can we give them a hand? So y'all are crushing it. So we're gonna get all your information, we'll post it everywhere. Again, write everything down, send it to people. Even right now, before you forget, you get in the car and forget it, send it to people if you need it. And so I know we got 10 minutes left before we transition. And so I wanted to pause for a second and open it up to you all to see if there are any questions that you all have for the panelists before we have to wrap up. So.
I didn't have a question, I had a comment. You saying that is your God's given mission? I have never heard anyone else say it other than me, to my family and my close friends, but I understand it.
Feel good, right?
It's like a walk with him.
Right.
It's just like, I can't explain it, y'all, but when y'all out here with him, y'all gonna feel it.
Yeah.
He sent you here for that purpose.
Yeah.
Like, it's gifts that he gives us, And sometimes I question it, like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? But hearing it from somebody else, and I feel it, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing.
Like, even for me, I used to say, why can't I do hair? What can I say? like I said, I felt out what my niche was and what I was saying to do. So yes, it's a great feeling, right?
Thank you, because sometimes I be wanting to do everything. I be like, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. But he's like, oh, lock in, focus, this is bad.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. Yes.
First of all, thank you, ladies, for your input. It was very refreshing from one clinician to another, just to know that they're coming out of this space. So thank you for sharing. So my question is, how do you intend to scale your businesses? Because you each have very unique nuances for your clinical practices. What do you see yourself doing to help, I guess, expand, if it was expanding in your goals for the next 5 years? What do you think that you need to do to help grow?
I believe that I just need to get beyond out to the world. I just know that once everybody knows who I am and they come, I can take it from there. Because I believe that we offer something unique, and me just being the CEO of my company, I'm more than that. Like, they see me all the time, I'm there, they call me all the time, things of that nature. So I just believe that in the next few years, 5 years, what you say, my goal is to just, expand as far as people knowing who we are and knowing the services that we can provide, and knowing that this is something that everybody needs.
I gotta set up some tables with some millionaires. Philanthropy dollars, since I'm in the philanthropy space. So really just have to seek corporate sponsorships. Also, I've seen even in the Baltimore sphere, Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation. There are so many, Andy Casey Foundation. There's a lot of money in this area, and I've seen other organizations get lots of money. So I'm just like, let me brush shoulders, and I'm gonna be there. So for me, it's definitely about finding the right people, getting them, being in relationship with them, and helping them see the vision.
For me, it's starting and continuing the conversation, just going out into communities, being a part of settings such as this and creating my own, just really starting the conversation, because I know a lot of times, especially I would just say within my household, mental health was not just something that was discussed or talked about. And so I just want to be that voice, if I can, to as many people that I can reach. I'm starting with my own son. I've been teaching him to breathe and how to breathe and things like that. So I'm starting at home too, because I just know that I personally did not even learn about the word until college. So I want to start and continue the conversation of mental health.
I gotta think big, and that's gonna look very different in each season. So right now, thinking big means getting out of my comfort zone and getting comfortable, putting myself out there and really modeling what I'm teaching. So really putting myself in spaces, but ultimately, I don't know if I want to say it in this space or not, but ultimately I want to have a wellness center. Because I touch lives and I change lives. And I'm going to say that boldly. I do. I walk this. But you got to get comfortable with yourself enough to put yourself in those areas. And I'm also a clinician's clinician. You get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking big, and that's going to look very different because I have to challenge my thoughts.
I love the yes.
I have a question. I may not know how to word it, but I'm going to try. Each time you have a client or a patient, I know you can't reach everybody. So when you have those challenges, how do you overcome, or do you call somebody in to help you, or just what is the process for something like that?
Well, I'll start, right? Because so I had a couple that I've just started seeing, right? And so they enlisted me. This is virtual. We're sitting there. I actively listen. So I need to see both people. I need to see face. I need to see body. I need to hear you. I need to see you. I need to feel you. And I can feel the energy. It felt very uncomfortable. So you got to call it out. Just got to be comfortable. Is this what we want to do? Because this is okay. And if it's not me, I will refer you out. You guys will have to manage fit. But I want that. This is about you. This is about you. And so we're gonna get a little bit uncomfortable, and it's okay. We're gonna talk. Do we have buy-in? We're just establishing buy-in, and sometimes you have to get comfortable with those uncomfortable conversations because you can't move through anything. I don't want to waste anyone's time. If we're not ready, let's just stay. I said that earlier. Let's say it. If we ain't ready, come back when you're ready.
So everybody may not be a good fit.
Fit is important. Fit is important, and being able to use your language and connect with people, because sometimes they're not always identifying with what you see. Sometimes people think what they say is what is actually going on, and I'm going to let you know there's other ways to communicate.
So for me at the Buse Foundation, we offer free consultations prior to the start of therapy, just to make sure. I know 15 minutes may not be enough, but it at least gives the introduction for a client to meet the potential therapist to make sure that they are the right fit for the practice. And if they determine that, if the therapist too, because the therapist, has a certain level of competence area as well, so we want to make sure that our therapists are able to meet the needs of the client. And if it's not the case, and I have a list of resources that I will send to clients, even when I have a wait list, I send a list of resources for clients if they choose not to wait for my services to be open. So we do offer free consultations prior to the start of therapy to assure that the therapist is the good fit.
And I would say for me, being on the other end of that, having had lots of therapists over the years, different ones, you really have to listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to know what you would vibe with. But I also, in the free thing that I mentioned to you all, I give some tips around definitely get referrals from people you trust. Even someone who's in therapy now and you've seen their growth, maybe ask about who they're going to because you've seen their growth, right? Maybe there's a therapist who has a podcast or something. You can kind of just see how they interact, see how they think, things like that, which are free. before you dig in that way could be helpful.
And I was going to say the same thing coming from the other side of therapy. I'm not a therapist or have a license in mental health, but for me, I just feel like you're going to feel it when you decide to go on this journey to actually seek a mental health provider. You're going to feel, just like you go to the doctors, you just know, do you like this GYN? Are you going to let them see your whole body? Like it's just like a feeling that you'll get that you know. I had a therapist that after my significant other passed away, and she was really, really good. I actually prefer her to a cousin of mine, but for me, she was always in a car driving, the phone call would drive me, and she's like, I'm gonna call you back, I'm gonna call you back. And I'm like, dang, I really do like her, but she just wasn't for me, so. Yeah. But I referred her to somebody else in my family, and they loved her, so it's just like, you're gonna get the feeling to know. Cool. And then for Beyond Health, we have a full outpatient mental health clinic that has 1,000,001 resources. We are really big on just partnering with a lot of people in Baltimore that offer the same mental health services so that you can, I call them my sister programs, that if it's not a good fit for Beyond Health, I have this person I can call.
You got time for one question? I saw one question, and then I know we're at time.
Question, right? Oh, sorry, her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can do 2 more.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
I was over there sweating. I was like, I don't know where to go. Go ahead.
You want to go first?
You
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
have time to network after this, so.
Okay, I'm coming out of my comfort zone this way.
Okay.
My name is Karen Cole, and actually I deal with homeless people. I was homeless myself before. I wasn't street homeless, but I was homeless from living with family, which is hidden homelessness. And there's so many people that's homeless out there, especially now after the pandemic. And I deal with so many people that's 50, 60, sleeping in their cars on the parking lots. And some of them have disability, and some of them make like maybe, let's say $50 too much for any service. And it's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. And not just the health issues that they have, but the mind issues. From depression, from loneliness, from abandonment. Some of the children even don't even let them in. Because some of them just don't have a room. How do I, as a person, as someone, I'm on a God-given assignment, such as some of you all have spoke about. My misery is now my ministry. So now I have to go and come, repair the breach, go and get the cat, and be able to sell it. But not having all the tools, not really knowing how to get in it. Where I come from, Jesus is the one that we go to for therapy. We holler, we scream, but you still need somebody to talk to. You still need somebody to get within me and tell me what's wrong. So me being able, that's one of my reasons being here tonight, is to get information, to get to help, to be able to help the people. So
my first thought, and I'll change it, because I think I heard your question was, how do I help these lives that I'm impacting, and I've also had a similar journey. I also see myself as a servant, right? And so I hear you as a helper. But the biggest thing is that's going to naturally pour out of you is sounds like you're connected to resources and support. Sounds like you're in spaces to gain other alternative supports as well. And I'm gonna put my hand on my heart, because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna sit it on the table, because I don't know if you want to pick this up. Everybody is in our assignment.
That's right.
And you have to allow other people to do their work. You give them the tools, you support them, you guide them, and then you have to let them walk through their journey. They have to figure it out. You know, sometimes as women of color, we've kind of picked up along the way that it's our responsibility to do for it. And if we don't do for it, they're going to look at us and judge us. No, baby, if I'm doing it for you, you didn't get it. Somebody else said that. You didn't get it. You didn't get what I needed you to get, and maybe it's just a seed. And if a seed is planted, we'll both try to pour it. If you want to come and interact, we'll pour some water on it. We'll put some sunlight. We'll make sure we got some fertilizer. But it's ultimately you, the person. It's them. When they're ready to step in it and do the work, that's when it's going to grow. And they can be upset with you. They're going to have a lot of feelings because they might be used to other people doing for them. But that's enabling. We talking about growth. We talking about being your highest self. We talking about living a life of purpose. You can't do that if someone's doing the work for you.
I understand.
Today, I don't think I mentioned earlier, but I'm in school as well to be an addiction counselor, and that was a question that my professor asked us today. How do we know when a person is ready for change? So I listened to my whole class and I said, well, because I was listening, I'm trying to figure out how are y'all going to answer this question? You don't know. The person has to want it, and they have to wake up or at that moment decide they want change. But the resources that we all have that I know that you heard all night that we can provide, that's the best thing. Like, this was God placing you in this room today to get all of our information. And a lot of this end of the groups take private insurance, so the people that do make too much over the medical assistance, because I take medical assistance amount, then they can come to us, or vice versa. So you being an advocate for them is where you can help them. And all you do is give them the information, and they just have to be willing to want to call or use it, or and then come back and tell you their journey and their testimony, and that's what's going to keep you going. Yes. But like she said, it won't be everybody.
That's right, and I do understand.
That's good. That's good. All right, we got it.
My question was for you. I know that you service female women.
Yes.
So are all your clinicians females as well?
Yes.
Okay.
That's perfect. That was a great. And so with this, I'm going to turn it over. But it takes a lot to be up here, and you all are very vulnerable. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the work and things that you're doing, how you're giving up of yourselves, your passions, your purpose, all of those things in your profession and into your business. And so, can we give them a deserving? And so with that, I will go ahead and turn.
Yes, before we get out, Austin's going to take some pictures, and feel free to network and everything while we're getting everything together for the pitch competition. You guys feel free to stay if you want to witness the pitch competition as well. Also, one last thing I wanted to ask Sierra, because she kept saying PRP services, but she really didn't explain what PRP was. And I know everybody in here may not know what that is and who it serves and who's eligible. So can you quickly explain that?
PRP is an acronym for Psychiatric Rehabilitation Program. And every time I say what PRP means, people say, well, I ain't crazy, I don't need that, because they look at the word psychiatric, but it's not about that. So in order to be a part of a PRP program, you have to see a therapist or a mental health provider. And say for instance, if a client is in Tanisha's program or her therapy session, and she's working with them diligently, I don't know how often she sees her clients, but it's just like maybe once a week. And when she sees them the following week, she gives them goals, right, to work on to better themselves, because that's what you do in therapy. And then she'll see them the following week and they say, oh, I'm still working on that. So she would in turn refer them to a PRP program, because in the PRP program, you have PRP workers that will basically take what she is trying to work on with you and say, okay, well now she wants to, say for instance, the client wants to say they want to buy a car, right, or drive. They want to drive in the next 6 months. But the first things first is, do you have your license? Do you know where to go to driving school? And do you know how to have a budget or save money to buy a car and all of those things? So when you are in a PRP program, they basically help you further your goals or get your goals accomplished. So you'll have as adults, you'll have somebody that calls you at least 6 times a month and say, hey, just checking in, did you do this today to complete your goal? Oh, do you need me to come pick you up and take you to NBA? Or like for Beyond Health, we provide services with, as far as money, if they need to get their birth certificate or ID or to go to driving school. Sometimes we will fund that for them as well, just for them to get to their goal. And then in 6 months, we go back and say, hey, did you accomplish this, or do you need to move on for the next 6 months? So that's what PRP services are. It's children too, that's what I was supposed to say. It's a great way to, as moms, single parents, for me, I feel like for sure, to have your kid in a PRP program, because it's something like a mentorship type of thing. When I was growing up, the PAL centers and all of that was still around, and we was able to go there and get resources, and we don't have that much these days. So PRP services basically just is giving you a helping hand to help you reach the goals that you need to in life.
Oh, you want me to go?
Oh, yeah, Taylor, join you, y'all.
Hey guys! Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And thank
To ask you questions. Just a quick overview, just make sure you talk about your business, what problems your business is solving, how will you solve it, what will you do with the money if you win. Let's see how much money you get back. And how will you reach your target audience? What skills do you bring to the table? What are your average costs? And I already said, how will you monetize your solution? So, yes. And $1,500 we are giving away to the winner. Each winner? No. Each winner. Okay, there will be one winner, and keep in mind you don't get a chance to pitch today since we only have room for 5. We do these at the end of every Growth Beyond Me event, so make sure you check your emails every last Tuesday of every month. All right, so Ariel Rogers Manley we have up first. Yes, you'll go up and you can like stand on the side, whichever side you want to stand on. And just say the time. 1 second. 1 second, y'all.
Good evening, Growth Beyond Me. I am Ariel Rogers Manley, a senior at the illustrious Morgan State University, and I want to introduce you to Bee and Butterfly LLC. We understand that the global fashion industry is one of the largest contributors of pollution worldwide, ranking at number 3 and results in major impacts on climate change, with an annual growth rate of averaging around 5%. The fashion industry is approximately valued at $1.7 trillion. That's why we started Bee and Butterfly. We make you feel good by providing affordable, inclusive, and sustainable luxury goods and services, such as consignment and authentication. We cater to clients who want to elevate and invest in their wardrobes in style, saving the planet one outfit at a time. With over a decade of experience in the retail industry, we are uniquely skilled to provide customers with the same luxury experience you would expect from major retailers and designers, but at a fraction of the cost. As we've grown over the last year, we've made over $30,000 in revenue. Our estimated revenue for 2024 is $180K with a 72% gross margin. Our customers are professionals, students, and fashion enthusiasts who have a second and first attitude. Our customers are connected with us through all major social media platforms and love to shop via butterfly.com and via our app. We have an online presence of over 7,000 followers and 22,000 users online engaged in the last 30 days. Like Muhammad Ali said, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. We need your help to knock out our competition by raising $95,000 in startup capital. To learn more, please contact me today for your personal invitation to change the world. Thank you.
Time, Tanya. You still got 1 minute.
I know.
Okay, you stopped it.
I wanted extra time for y'all to ask questions.
For the final time. Okay, Judge, I have 2 minutes to ask questions.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, what fashion will you provide that will set you aside from all the other fashion entrepreneurs in Baltimore City right now?
So the other fashion entrepreneurs in Baltimore City right now, they primarily just have branded merchandise where they just throw their logos on it. We provide you with high-end luxury consignment, where are all of the fashion designers that you are alike. We also help you invest in your wardrobe by preparing you to authenticate your items, also consigning to make room for new favorites. Also with that authentication, we have the option to help you invest in your wardrobe, then being able to have the documentation to put those things in your portfolio.
What's your price point?
We start from about $5, and our largest price right now is about $5.
How do you contain the apparel that you sell?
How do we store those things?
How do you get them? How do you, I mean, to consignment, but how do you get those products that you're then selling?
So we have a large variety of consigners. Hopefully some of you all will be some of our new consigners. We also have that starter capital that we were asking for that helps us go and purchase more items. We're also looking to partner with other companies when we progress at a later date with B2B to then provide other manufacturers, other larger vendors to help get rid of some of their merchandise so they're not just going into that cycle of lost fashion. We're just trying to sustain more of the fashion industry. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, go ahead, next person. We have Marche, is it Kinstry? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. So I am here, I'm actually representing a few businesses that I own that all kind of tackle the mental health field. So I'll just tell you about all of them and how they work together. So I have a residential program that provides structure-like atmosphere, assisted with medication management that follows up, helps the clients follow up with primary care doctor's appointments, dental, vision appointments. We specialize in adolescents and children struggling with ongoing behaviors and emotional and psychiatric problems. Our areas of specialties are mood disorders, including depression, schizophrenia, bipolar. Some people do like self-injury for coping skills, aggressive behaviors. Also, individuals experiencing difficulties with impulse control of emotions, regulations. Majority of our youth, they are aging out of the Department of Social Services. So some of them are coming from like locked facilities like Shepherd Pratt, different RTCs, and our job is to help them transition to everyday life, not being in a locked facility, learning different everyday skills that they may haven't learned. So that's where my nonprofit comes in, Finish Foundation. And the nonprofit works with the residential program, and we strive to help each youth develop their highest potential and provide them with coping skills and helping them be successful. We involve our youth in community activities and other opportunities. We have programs such as job readiness, so we're teaching them how to interview so that they can get a job. We set them up with different trainings, whether it's CBLs, CNA, we point them in the direction of that. We work very close with Your Baltimore to help them find, what success may look like to them. And a part of the nonprofit, we also take them out in the community, teach them how to grocery shop, teach them with finances, teach them how to do everyday living, where sometimes when you're in a locked facility, you don't get to learn those things, and definitely when you're not in a household, some of those things are missed. I am currently in the process of opening up a PRP
and we would work directly with our clients that we house in our residential program to set them up with mentors to help them go into the community to further get ready for 21, because after 21 they are out of the Department of Social Services. So like I said, I work very closely with the Department of Social Service as a residential vendor, getting these youth, and they're very, very broken because they're coming from just a place where it's a whole bunch of them, no family support, so that absence of family plays a big part. A part of our program, you have to see a psychiatrist, you have to be willing to take your medication, and, you know, be ready to transition. Oh, sorry. Well,
Thank you, Judge.
Questions?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a question. So if you put the $15,000, how will that impact your business? How will that help it grow?
So,
1,500, I'm sorry.
To answer your question, so with the youth, we also incorporate community activities. So whether it's a youth that wants to get signed up for a training and we don't have like a sister company where there is some type of state funding, we pay for that. Driving school, we also do trips with them because a part of transition and growing up, they still have this serious neglect that they're dealing with. So we're like a rural community. We take them out on outings in different trips to still connect with that mental health piece that is, you know, that abuse that's missing. So, yeah.
So you said you run a residential facility?
Yep.
Where is that funding coming from?
State.
The state, okay. And so that's your main source of income, basically?
Yeah.
Well, so what is it that you bring? Like, what knowledge or expertise do you bring to your business?
So I am a nurse. I used to work bedside doing psychiatry, but the bedside wasn't for me. So to still get that niche, I do it in the community with the youth that are aging out of DSS, trying to help them navigate once they turn 21, how to have a successful life. Like working very close with them, creating like a care plan for them to be successful.
Would you say your goal is to prevent homelessness?
Yeah, because when they are turning 18, you do have the choice to sign out of DSS, and we are in a state where it's not a lot of placements. So if you're not compliant with medication or wanting to stay, then that's your next option is being homeless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, we have Juanita Banks Whittington.
Hello everyone, my name is Juanita Banks Whittington. I am an Army veteran, I am a licensed social worker, and I am a diversity practitioner. As many of you in the room today, we all have a background with someone in our family or someone that we know have been touched by mental health illness, incarceration, and substance abuse. So the name of my business is twofold. It's called Me Oct Cares, LLC, and I'm doing business as Diverse Children's Books Matter. So with Me Oct Cares, we provide we empower and educate individuals to live their best lives while achieving their full potential by practicing daily healthy habits to attain better physical, social, emotional, and mental health outcomes. We focus on helping individuals understand the foundations of wellness and how they relate to diversity and inclusion, not just in the workplace. I provide training that identifies the root cause of struggle, understanding what brings happiness, and setting healthy boundaries so that individuals can gain a stronger sense of self-worth and access to positive thinking in all aspects of their lives. So that is with Me Oct Cares, and for Diverse Children's Books Matter, we just got established this year, and This came from wanting to provide relatable stories to children so that they can see individuals within the books that they read that look like them. Currently, there are less than 40% of books that have characters that have diverse characters in it. And of those books, it's probably about 20% that are actually in the schools in Vernon. My tongue. Okay. So I wrote I Love My Daddy recently. It's about a little girl and the day that she spends with her father. And this book has been on NBC4. Tabitha Brown has recently read my book on her show. And I have been writing articles for Baltimore Times and Annapolis Times relating to mental health and having diversity within children's books as well.
Would you call yourself an advocate?
Yes.
You can start with questions.
Are you hoping that schools or families, like who is the target of the book?
So for the book, my book is targeted for children from 0 to 8 years old. It's in Baltimore. It's in PG County libraries, Anne Arundel County libraries, and I was just enrolled into UMBC's Diverse Books Project to get the books into Baltimore City schools for teachers and youth.
How much is the cost of the book?
So the book is $15. If you buy it from me, it's available on Amazon, it's on Barnes and Noble, and I have a hardback version as well, and it's $21.99.
So if you were to receive the recipient of the $1,500.
So with that, I would start my second book, which is about a little boy. So that would pay for my illustrations, and then that would help me continue with some of the costs that I have for marketing. I have a virtual assistant that's helping me out as well, so to pay for those upfront costs. And I work full-time for the federal government, so I'm doing so many different things right now.
I know this is just a pitch call. Y'all finished the question? Just the idea that I signed my daughter up when she was born for Dolly Parton Book Club, and he sent her a book once a month until she's 5. You should get into that.
So the issue with that is I'm a self-published author, so we're looked at as if we're stepchildren. So you have to get into the hands of certain individuals within your county and within the state. And I have to really market myself because they look at us as if we're not as good to be traditional published authors.
Yes. Thank you. Natasha Taylor.
Well, good evening, everyone. I put you in. Thank you. Excellent job. Thanks for sharing your stories. Appreciate it. All right. So, hi, everyone. My name is Natasha Taylor. I am a licensed clinical therapist. That is not what it's called, but nurse. I'm a social worker, a licensed clinician. I am the owner of Transform Perspectives, which is also a psychiatric rehabilitation program. Also the owner of a group therapy practice, Metanoia Counseling Center. So who's ever, I'm a therapist with a therapist. Ever been to your therapist and you're like, oh, this is so empowering while you're there, and then you leave and you're like, that was great, what's next? So, Transform Perspectives, we are that what's next. As my sister said, we are the hands and feet of that clinician's treatment plan with that client. The client is the expert. So what we do is we go in homes, we go in the community. We are teaching skills that have been lost or not taught at all. So it may be hygiene, it may be balancing books, it may be financial literacy, pretty much whatever it is that person needs. So that's what our work looks like day to day. For a child, it definitely could look and feel like mentoring, therapeutic. It is helping an individual to develop to be their God-given, work their God-given capacity, and not be stuck by the words that took them what they couldn't do, what their mama said they won't be, or their teachers or whoever. It's undoing that. The problems that we solve, I'm a faith-based agency. Romans 12:2, renew my mind. That is what we do. We help people to be transformed in their mindset, in their thinking. They go from, I think I can, or I don't know about that, to yes, I can, I know I can be what I want to be. So the problems that we solve, I already stated that. One of the things what we were saying, our staff are our family life coordinators. So they're coming alongside of those persons, breathing life into maybe already thriving situations, pushing you to be your best you. Some may feel that they can't. So, walking alongside, encouraging, showing, teaching, modeling that you absolutely can. The one question was, you said, what would we do? With that, because our funding does come from the state, one thing that Transform Perspectives does, every fourth Saturday, we host group. That is. That's going to be a question, right?
What is going with the money?
So, one of the things that we've been looking to do is, in our group, the youth have developed a really strong relationship. So we want to have a girls and boys retreat.
Social media platforms or handles, where can we find you? What's your website?
So our website is www.transformperspectives.org. I need to get on the social media. I'm a little analog, but it's not just me. As you said, bigger.
So what sets your agency apart from other therapies?
So what sets it apart? So when you said it, like this is my purpose. This is what I do. So it's not just knowing about the work. It's actually living, being that person that had to be stripped from those labels, being that person that was homeless, being that person that had to learn that I can do. And now come alongside and say, you know what, I understand because I've been there. I lived that and I walked this out. And then also ensuring that our family life counselors, they're not just here for, oh, I just want a job. We don't do jobs. This is ministry and this is real work that we do. We're committed to it. So that's one of the things. We don't have a lot of turnover in our staff are pretty consistent.
What age group do you take?
So we work with youth ages 5 through 17, adults ages 18 through 65.
All right.
And last, Autumn Walker.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Good. All right. Well, my name is Autumn Walker, and I am a licensed therapist and also the founder of the Soul Reasons LLC, which is a mental wellness and personal development company empowering Black women to overcome imposter syndrome. All right. So we got a lot of mental health professionals and advocates in here, so I'm really excited to see and hear what you guys did when I asked this question. What do you all believe are the two driving forces behind human behavior? Why people do what they do? No answer is a wrong answer.
Which is up? Self at home.
I like it, I like it.
Nature, nurture, nature.
Nature, nurture, ooh, that's what got me started. I like them all. So, in my line of work and through my expertise, I realized that most people's two driving forces are survival and purpose. Survival and purpose. Now, oftentimes we start off as babies in survival, right? And our whole life transitioning process is to get to this point of meaning, to get to this sole reason. However, I'm noticing that there is a problem in the middle. And in that middle, I'm noticing the problem is called imposter syndrome. A lot of people think imposter syndrome is just this term that was coined in the 70s that's just been tossed around in social media. No, imposter syndrome is deeper than that. Imposter syndrome is a belief system rooted in shame, rooted in doubt, and that is what's keeping folks from reaching their sole reason, the thing that could be the life-changing, the world-changing, talent and gifts that lies within inside of us. So why Black women? All right, let me walk you all through. So in 2020, the same year that I graduated from Johns Hopkins University with my master's in clinical mental health counseling and earned my clinical license, is also, not ironically, if you ask me, the same year coined as the Red Summer of 2020, where we were patronized by Black bodies on the screen being targeted and gunned down and victimized. And I realized that I was having some kind of behavioral, emotional response to this. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. And so I'm like, what is this? Luckily, I had the language for it because I had just become an alumni to my grad program. I was experiencing a depressive episode. So that's where the Sole Reason initiative was born, recognizing that there is an overlap between mental health and race and systemic oppression. And so over the years of the Sole Reasons being born, I began to mainly focus on Black women because as you remember, if you may have been watching the news, George Floyd's justice was a lot different than Breonna Taylor's justice. So can you just imagine what that says to Black women? What that says and how that speaks to our worth and our value. So right now, in addition to the digital courses that we have, an e-course as well as a digital guide, we're also putting together a group coaching program. First up is a group coaching. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
I can't be with every day.
It's okay.
So if a order,
Thank you. So the group coaching program right now is in its beginnings and we're in the marketing research process of it. So the funding will assist me with hiring a data analyst to really help me out with the numbers and understanding and interpreting what exactly are the needs of our potential clients and also to help us out with just the product life cycle and how we can further assist in the future. In addition to just the user experience from, the scheduling and making sure that's running smoothly and seamlessly, investing in Zoom that doesn't cut off at 40 minutes so that we can have as much time as we need to meet, and also incentives because people like free things in order to get them to be involved so that we can gather the data as well because we really do envision a world of Black women living in their full authentic truth as a way to dismantle systemic oppression. And so we want to do this really meticulously. We don't want to just kind of throw it out there. We really want this to be really thorough, well thought out, and detailed.
Can you speak to your targeted audience?
Yeah, so it will be Black women between the ages of, around 21 to 30, 35, more so in the professional world, high-end fields, or even just, maybe just starting out, women who are maybe pivoting within their career circuit as well. And so it will be more so around those women experiencing challenges with self-esteem, as well as negative self-talk, self-doubt, and self-criticism.
How many participants do you currently have with your online courses?
Also we also have a text messaging subscription as well, where we provide free tips and resources. And all together with my guide, my courses, and the text messaging list, we have a little under 50 altogether.
What kind of funding do you have now for the business?
I have it as all me.
So, give out all of our participants a round of applause. We take a lot of courage who you guys are. So we're going to let you guys go into the conference room, deliberate.
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah, like I'm gonna give you 7. All right.
Photoshop it in.
First time I've ever walked, so this has been a very humbling. And it's okay, I'm very excited.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you.
And before we complete the end, for those that pitch, I just want to say, don't stop. Like, you just have to run this opportunity. It doesn't matter what the topic is. You can come and pitch any business every month when we do this, but it takes a lot of courage to get up and pitch your business. I don't even like doing it, and I won't do it anymore. But keep going. Like, don't let it determine anything in your future. So give yourselves a pat. All right. I'm going over all of that.
Photoshop it in.
First time I've ever walked, so this has been a very humbling. And it's okay, I'm very excited.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. Perfect, thank you.
And before we complete the end, for those that pitch, I just want to say, don't stop. Like, you just have to run this opportunity. It doesn't matter what the topic is. You can come and pitch any business every month when we do this, but it takes a lot of courage to get up and pitch your business. I don't even like doing it, and I won't do it anymore. But keep going. Like, don't let it determine anything in your future. So give yourselves a pat.